Did Ghana just regain its US visa benefits because it agreed to accept deportees? That's the big question on many minds after recent development. Here is what we know so far. In July 2025, the US slapped restrictions on Ghanaian visas, limiting tourist, business, and student visas to single entry and just 3 months validity. Washington claimed too many overstays, especially among students, and described it as a reciprocity measure. Then a few days ago, that is late September, everything flipped. Ghana's Foreign Minister Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa announced that full privileges were back. That is 5-year multiple entry visas for B1, B2 visitors, 4-year multi-entry for F1 student visas, and also restored consular services. The US Embassy in Accra confirmed it. The timing, though, has raised eyebrows. Around the same period, Ghana quietly accepted 14 West African nationals deported under a US third country policy, even though many had no direct ties to Ghana. Reports now suggest that an additional 40 deportees are expected to be brought in the coming weeks. Critics see this as more than coincidence. They believe this acceptance was the real deal behind the visa reversal, but the government is pushing back hard. Officials insist no dime was exchanged and that accepting deportees was a humanitarian decision, not a transactional bargain. They argue that the US restored visa privileges because of diplomacy and mutual respect, not any hidden deal. Still, suspicion lingers. Now, the visa restoration and deportee acceptance came almost hand in hand. Civil society groups and opposition figures argue that it still needs to be a coincidence, and some have even called on Yoko to investigate whether illicit funds or political bargaining were involved. So, what's the bottom line? Ghana says its actions were just humanitarian, but many remain unconvinced, seeing this as a quiet trade-off. So, the question remains, was this really diplomacy at work or a dangerous precedent where visa access comes at a price of accepting deportees?